Imagine a queen. To see her, you must journey not through countries, but through legends. A woman emerges from the hazy lines of history, the Queen of Sheba. To some, she was Bilqis, to others, Makeda. But there's one thing everyone agrees on. She was no ordinary ruler. Every record, every story, every rumor about her seems to point to one thing. This woman possessed a genius beyond her time, limitless power, and a dangerous beauty. Now, you might think the story of a queen ruling somewhere between Arabia and Ethiopia sounds pretty standard, right? But when the Queen of Sheba's name is mentioned, even history itself seems to pause and listen. Because her reign wasn't just measured by land, but by knowledge. They say her country was famous for its gold, incense, and spices. But those weren't its most valuable treasures. The real prize was the ancient knowledge she was said to hold within her. And that's why her journey to King Solomon's palace is described not as a simple diplomatic visit, but as a meeting of two worlds, a clash of intellects. According to legend, as the queen and her caravan advanced toward Jerusalem, even the wind in the desert changed direction. And when she finally entered Solomon's magnificent palace, they say something happened the very moment their eyes met. Two wise rulers, two brilliant minds, two immense powers silently sizing each other up. This scene has been told and retold for centuries, but no one knows for sure what was said first. The rumors are fascinating. Some say Solomon asked, "Do you know the source of true power?" Others claim he whispered, "You hold the secret I seek." It was a high-stakes meeting, a true battle of wits between two of the ancient world's most powerful figures. Historical texts say Solomon prepared a hall full of traps to test the queen's legendary intelligence. He had a floor made of polished glass that looked exactly like water. He devised complex riddles designed to stump even the sharpest minds. But the real test, the biggest trap, wasn't for her intelligence. It was for the truth of what she was. You see, the stories claim that the Queen of Sheba had something unusual about her. Hairs on her legs that could and possibly belong to a human. They were described as golden yellow and slightly glowing, almost reflecting light. These hairs were said to reveal that she was from a lineage far different from ordinary mortals. As she walked on that glass floor, her reflection seemed to shimmer, making reality play out like a dream. Solomon wasn't just trying to understand her intellect. He was trying to understand her very nature. Was she human? Or was she the heir to a semi-divine bloodline? This adds fuel to another persistent rumor about her, that the Queen of Sheba was the daughter of the sun. Some whispered that her lineage was older than humanity itself. Others believed she was the last guardian of a lost, advanced civilization. The mystery around her origins was just as compelling as her power. And then came another test, perhaps the most famous one of all, bringing the Queen of Sheba's throne to Solomon's palace. According to the legend, while the queen was still in her own country, Solomon used his incredible power to transport her throne, in the blink of an eye, right into his court in Jerusalem. Imagine her shock, seeing her own royal seat suddenly appear hundreds of miles away. It was a moment of pure astonishment, followed by silent respect. This wasn't just a party trick. Solomon wasn't just showing off his power. He was testing her. Could she comprehend this level of power? Was she someone who could match his own intuition and intellect? The queen was amazed, but her first reaction wasn't a smile or a gasp. She silently fixed her eyes on Solomon, trying to understand the miracle she had just witnessed. For her, the sudden appearance of her throne wasn't a game. It was a silent conversation between two ancient powers, a meeting of minds on a level we can barely comprehend. But perhaps the most striking legend of all is this. It is said that in the queen's own land, there are secret chambers hidden deep underground, chambers that are still undiscovered today. And inside these chambers are stone tablets. These aren't just any tablets. They contain information describing the positions of the stars, the cycle of the winds, the very lifeblood of the world. These are the secrets forgotten by humanity, but still guarded by someone. This is why Solomon's desire to meet her might not have been just about diplomacy or even romance. Perhaps what he truly sought was that ancient knowledge, the kind of knowledge that could hold the balance of the world in its hands. When she finally left Jerusalem, there was a strange heaviness in the queen's eyes. Some records say she returned to her country deep in thought. Others say Solomon had entrusted her with a secret of his own. And some believe that when the queen left the palace, she carried among her chests not only gold and jewels, but something far more valuable, a lost piece of ancient wisdom. But the queen's story doesn't end there, not even close. Ethiopian tradition tells of a son born from her union with Solomon, a prince named Menelik. This lineage, they say, continues to this day, and the sacred legitimacy of the Ethiopian kings is believed to come directly from her. She is not just a queen. She is the mother of an empire. Other rumors are even darker and more mysterious. They say the reason her tomb has never been found is because it's not a tomb at all, but a door, a gateway to somewhere else. Ultimately, the Queen of Sheba is more of a trace than a historical figure. She exists in that fascinating space between legend and fact. But one thing is certain. Every culture, every record, every myth that tells her story converges on the same point. That woman wasn't just a queen. She was a guardian of knowledge, a keeper of secrets. And maybe, just maybe, the only reason we're still talking about her thousands of years later is that the secret she kept is still powerful enough to shake the world. Thanks so much for watching. If you love diving into history's greatest mysteries, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got so many more stories to uncover together. See you next time.